Every time that I see that place, every time that I see that face, I guess it's over now, over now. It's over now, over now.
We were going with this EP. Well, technically, we all have our own different styles, our own different influences. As some of you may know, I vary from hip hop to rock to a bit of heavy. I'm not as heavy as maybe as say Nigel and Jerry, but basically we mix everything together. And this EP was basically that. It was a bit of a mixture of everything. We just playing around with different ideas. We went from like mellow songs to some heavier stuff, a bit of hip hop influence there. Basically just trying to mix it all together and actually create and find the sound that we want to be able to give out to all you guys there.
Well, regarding our influence, we weren't really inspired by any album with this EP. We just sort of amalgamated our interests musically and just produced a little something that represented all of our individual interests.
Every member of the band has had their own influence, although there's generally overlaps. Some of us like things are more heavier, some of us like things a little bit lighter. So I think it really is up to the individual who's writing that particular song. As a drummer, I'm the fat guy that sits at the back. I count to 4 generally. So, you know, I come to the party a little bit later just to try and complement what's been done.
Well, I certainly advise those bands that haven't got any sort of studio experience, I'd advise them to practice their originals with a metronome and to rehearse them well enough to be able to go in there and get it done and not mess about and waste the producer's time.
We are not necessarily new to that, although what we do is overwhelmingly live. That's our experience. Bigger crowds, smaller crowds. The studio is very different to that because it's a little bit more clinical, if that's the right way of putting it. And particularly as a drummer, if I like the music, I tend to speed up. I'm famous for it. After slow myself down, I make Sean go blue because he can't breathe because we're going so fast. And that's something that I've had to work on. You can't do that in a studio. You've got to play to a metronome. You've got to be a lot more surgical in the way that you're producing it. And if it takes you that little bit longer, obviously time is money. So you've got to be as professional as you can, as quick as you can.
The truth is the recording process is a difficult one. You can be a fantastic live musician, but in the studio you could find it difficult. I'm certainly one of those people. Well, certainly Dark December's been very well received. That's sort of been one of the favourites from this EP.
To be fair, we are mostly thinking that it should be Dark December. Dark December is a pretty dark song. It's got very profound lyrics. It's I'd say it's a catchy song as well. I don't know, it just flows. But mind you, it's probably the song that has like a very weird structure. It's not the most normal structured song that we've ever done, but I don't know, I think it's quite a good song, and it seems to be quite good out there. People seem to be enjoying that song.
I like MUGSHOT. I like MUGSHOT a lot. I like Dark December a lot. I think MUGSHOT is the one that's sort of taken the role of the single, because it was our first one. It's probably one that we've worked on the most. When I say it's the first one, it's the first one that we've taken through from inception all the way down to recording. It's I think we're all very proud of it. It's got a special place for us, and now we're getting some traction. We've been able to put it in front of a label, and we've been able to get it on online platforms, even on things like TikTok and YouTube. We've got people from around the world who are listening to it and doing their own thing with it.
Martin's a great producer. He puts a lot of work into the tracks. While recording, he makes an effort. He makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel ready. He's always got these great ideas for things you could do. He's always suggesting things to make your track better. And certainly post-production, I mean, Martin spends hours on our tracks, even putting in the strings for a couple of the tracks that we've done, and mixing and all that. So he's great to work with. He's got a lot of ideas. He's got sort of a final product in his head, and he likes to see that accomplished.
Martin is a very experienced guy. He knows what he's talking about. I respect him immensely. I'm very thankful that we've been able to work with him. I have absolute intention of working with him again in the future. I think we all do. And you know, he's just generally he's a genuinely nice guy, which makes it a lot easier to go. You know, it's not a burden to go and rehearse. You look forward to it. You go down. He's been fantastic in terms of getting the kit ready, sorts all our stuff out. He sets up, you know, all these mics and all these cables, and he's got directional mics and all sorts of Gucci kit, which I've not been exposed to before. I would highly recommend working with Martin Jib Audio again in the future, and I look forward to doing it with the Views.
Well, MUGSHOT was always going to feature on this EP. We decided that this EP was going to vary in terms of style, so we weren't going to stick solely to one style. We were going to produce one hard rock track, we would produce one sort of ballad, another acoustic rock track. So MUGSHOT was always going to stay, absolutely.
MUGSHOT, it's no secret that I enjoy those heavy guitar riffs. I like that very those thick riffs. I'm a big fan of that, so I always like things like the Southern rock. I even like things like Pantera. Those very guitar heavy riffs at the beginning. So the second I heard Nigel playing that, I was all over that song.
We basically just throw ideas. Maybe I come up with like a melody in my head. I record it, using through WhatsApp. I send it to Nigel. Nigel then mixes it up in a guitar, brings it up. I then start writing lyrics to the guitar that he's already sent me. Then he puts the electrical effect on it. He starts recording it with electric guitar. One thing and another. We meet up in the band room, and basically that's it. We just work at it until the song is done.
Well, the lyrics of each song vary quite drastically, really. If you look at MUGSHOT, it's about living life. It's about life of crime. Looking at By My Side, it's about relationships, or rather loss in relationships. Same Mistakes is similar in terms of lyrics. And then you got Dark December, which is again about loss, about that personal relationship loss. That's kind of the main theme in the EP, minus MUGSHOT, which is just the opening track of the EP. It's meant to be sort of uplifting and fun, maybe something you want to drive to.
What a question. Thematically, there's a lot of common themes running throughout, and I'm telling you this as somebody listening to it and who's been present whilst that creative process has been allowed to come to fruition. We were very conscious of the fact that even the name Rebirth, for example, is about how we've transitioned as a band. We've matured a little bit in terms of the content that we're putting out. I keep saying it. I loved the Hamburger Thief days. It was some of the best times I've had musically as a drummer. I've enjoyed all those live performances. I've got 3 or 4 of them that stick out in my mind that I will never ever forget. I'm very, very proud of what we did back then, and it was what we wanted to do. But I think a lot of the lyrics touch upon that transition from where we were to where we are now and where we want to go, and that's why Rebirth was the choice for this EP. I think it's very clear what that means, and I think it's very clear why it's important to us. And I think so far so good. It's working for us. We are being taken a little bit more seriously, and we're getting the attention that that I think we need, just to confirm that we're on the right path. There's always going to be people that don't like certain types of music, and that's absolutely okay. There's a lot of music I don't like. I wouldn't criticize it, I wouldn't put it down, but I'm very thankful for the support that we're getting, and really for us it just confirms that we're on the right track, and we're always developing, and we're only going to get better.
For example, MUGSHOT is about living life, just doing whatever you want kind of thing. It's a bit of I always see MUGSHOT as if it was like a scene in a movie or something like that. Not necessarily my actual life. I'm not sure if the other guys from the band feel like it might be theirs, but for me it's more like a little movie, a little gangster westernized kind of movie thing. The rest of the songs, for example, By My Side is a very, very personal song to me. It's a song that I probably the lyrics for that song, and actually the main structure of the song, to be fair, I wrote I'd say probably about 15 years ago, maybe a bit less than 15 years ago. It's one of those songs that I just wrote when I started learning how to play a bit of guitar by myself in my house, and it's quite a personal song. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's not necessarily personal experiences from mine, but it is a very personal song. Like, there are a lot of personal touches to that song, and obviously then there's, like, for example, Dark December. Again, it's a bit of a personal song, mixed with different ideas, different experiences from me and from the other members of the bands, and basically that's it. Well, guys, as I said, I'm Sean from The Views. Hope you've enjoyed this little question session. Hope you enjoy the EP. The EP is out in all digital platforms right now. Just go online, just search for The Views. You can search for us at The Views Gib on Instagram, pretty much on all social media. The whole EP as well as on YouTube if you prefer to, like, listen to it that way. And hopefully you enjoy the EP. Any criticism or, like, any points that you'd like to let us know about the EP, just, like, let us know. We'll be quite glad to listen to what people are thinking about the whole EP. And remember, stay home, stay safe, and enjoy your weekend. Peace.